millennial. Anyone else? Clap it up if you are. Yeah. Thank you. You are my people. I decided to like end the generational trauma by ending the generation. No kids for me. No kids for me. No, my family does have a little bit of trauma. We discovered it a couple years ago when my sister got us all like those 23andMe DNA tests. Yeah, sounds like y'all have some experiences with those DNA tests. Same. I feel like the DNA tests, like they either go one of two ways, right? Like number one, super boring, like you know who your family is, right? Second way is like, I'm gonna say life-ruining. Yeah. My family got the life-ruining flavor. Yeah, so basically what happened is my sister took the test first, and she starts seeing some randos showing up on the DNA. And she's like, you know what? It would be a really fun, lighthearted Christmas activity for us to all take the DNA test together.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we did. Long story short, I'll save you the whole drama. Here's what happened. My grandmother had an affair, got pregnant with my dad, and like passed it off as my grandfather's kid.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. That's right. I'm saying, listen, there's nothing like the day you found out that your grandma's a bigger slut than you are. Right? Listen, some people have like the generational trauma. My family has generational riz, okay? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What else about me? Tina alluded to it a little bit. I was married for 9 years, and then my husband died. Yeah. And that means I have been literally ghosted, you guys. I know. I do feel like if he didn't want to be married to me anymore, he could have like used his words. Yeah, he didn't have to like go and die like that. But he did what he did, you know what I mean? Yeah. No, my husband died in bed, which makes sense to me because that is where most men disappoint me. Sorry, Zax. It's just like a normal thing. No, but I don't know. Shortly after my husband passed away, I got this new job, and it required me to move. And I guess one thing I didn't have on my 35-year-old bingo card was like where to put my husband's urn in my new apartment. Yeah, I tried to like HGTV episode, that shit, like I'm like, oh, decorate, could not find that episode, okay? Tried to Marie Kondo, like, no, that shit did not spark joy. Yeah, was not working for me. So I took the urn and I put it like on the dresser in my bedroom. And, you know, some time starts to pass, I'm like getting back out there a little bit, you know what I mean? Bringing guys back to the crib. My friends are like, so happy for you, Krista. This is amazing. Are you going to keep the urn on the dresser in your bedroom? And I thought about it for a minute. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I am going to keep the urn there because I need whoever is in my room to like feel some pressure. You know? Yeah, like your job performance in this room matters, okay? Look at what happened to the last guy. That's right. No, one time I had a guy in there, and he spotted the urn, and he goes, "Oh, do you think we should get a Ouija board and like ask for permission?"
Oh,
Yeah. I was like, no, I think he's living his best cuck life up there. Yeah. Probably not how he thought his first threesome was gonna go. That's right. No, but I went through this phase after I was widowed. A lot of people call it widow's fire. It's like really where you think about fucking every person you've ever met. I went through that. I called that my widho phase. Of course. What else do you call it, right? No, but that was short-lived for me because I went back to this magical place where we talk about our feelings. What is it?
Therapy.
Therapy. That's right. I knew this crowd would know what therapy is. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, I went back to therapy, and I thought that, I was like, I'm going to slow down the dating stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm only going to date a dude who goes to therapy, right? Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Because you know why? Not a lot of dudes go to therapy. Right? Dudes in the room, do y'all go to therapy? Exactly. Y'all won't go to therapy, right? So I was spending a lot of time alone, but it's okay. At the end of the day, I was just grateful because I was a vegetarian before I was a widow, so I was already used to using imitation meat. Yeah. My neighbors are like, why does her room always sound like a barbershop? What goes on in there? I know. Yeah. That's the sound, Nico. You ever been? Oh, yeah. Nico knows what's up. Nico's not afraid of the toys. I love that for you. I know. I have learned a lot about the types of dudes I can't date, though. And I learned that I can't date a dude who does yoga. And none of y'all do yoga. I'm looking at you guys in the room. You do not do yoga. I know. Okay, I know. I went out with a dude who does yoga. Let's talk about it. Here's what happened. I clock him immediately. And I'm like, this dude does yoga. I'm like, this dude's flexible, right? I'm like, this guy fucks. That's what I thought. Here's what happens. We go back to his place. He lights some incense. And he goes, okay, first we have to set an intention. Okay, it is my intention to be bent over and banged like a screen door in a hurricane river. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? No, but I'm trying to be polite, right? So I'm like, okay, why don't we just start with some doggy or whatever. He goes, great idea. He goes into downward facing dog immediately. Yeah, and starts trauma dumping about all these emotions that are stuck in his hips. Yeah, and he's talking about why his parents don't love him anymore, and I'm starting to agree with them, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I grab the nearest crystal, shove it up his ass, and get the hell out of there. Yeah. Namaste home with my vibrator next time. You know? Can't do it. You guys, I've been thinking a lot about my own funeral. You put a funeral on for someone else, you think about your own funeral, right? So here's what I want to happen. Come with me on this. I want to be cremated from the neck down. And I want my head to go on a stick. Yeah. You want to say something about me at my funeral, you gotta hold the stick. Say it to my face. Right. My bestie's gonna be there. She's gonna be the bouncer. Okay? Just making sure everybody's there for the right reasons. Yoga guy shows up. She goes fucking feral. Okay? That's her job. When everyone's done holding the stick, she's gonna take my head and put it in a casket. And she's gonna put a little picture of Yoga Guy, because I need God to know I have already been to hell, and I do not. Okay? Then she's gonna close the casket, and she'll take the flowers that are on top, and she'll throw them into the crowd. And whoever catches them will be the next to die. Yeah. And then she's going to take my ashes and she's going to throw them up into the crowd. And whoever catches the most of me will get what's in my will. Yes, you're all invited, so please. And I want you all to wear your sluttiest outfits at my funeral, okay? I don't want kids, but there's no reason why you guys can't have them. So, please make babies at my funeral. Is what I want. Okay. You guys, I will leave you with this. I was on the dating apps recently, and I was talking to this dude, and I don't normally disclose so early in a conversation that I'm a widow. For some reason, it weirds dudes out. But this time I did. No, this time I did. And he said, what brings you to the app? And I said, my husband died. And he said, well, did you kill him?
You should have said yes.
I said, are you a cop? Yes. No. And then I was like, I should be honest, right? Like, I value honesty, so I should be honest. And so I said the truth, which is that my lawyer recommends I not comment on investigations that are still ongoing. Are you guys ready for your final performer of the evening?